Hello again, everybody. It's your boy 13 South. You know what? I'm going to get right to this. I'm going to combine my thoughts on NXT and the Royal Rumble all in one. I'm not going to do one video this go around for each event. It was Royal Rumble weekend. So with that said, let's get started with NXT. As always, NXT put on yet another good show. Match of the night for me, by far, probably with everybody else, is Gargano and Ricochet. The back and forth with that match, the false finishes. I think there was just a little bit too many false finishes, too many kickouts. I think the kickouts are starting to get just a little bit over dramatic. I kind of like the old school kickouts, with Flair and Steamboat, where they would barely get the shoulder up or foot on the rope, things like that. Just the basic, simple psychology of wrestling. It's like, I'm not understanding how you do all these big moves, and it's like you're getting your butt kicked, and then all of a sudden you can just kick out, a heavy kick out of something, like a top rope Hurricane Rana. Then somebody jumps and does a standing moonsault. Then somebody jumps on top of the rope, and then they do a 450 splash. And all of a sudden, you can just kick out. We need to stop that. WWE, Hogan doesn't wrestle anymore. War Raiders winning the tag team titles. I did appreciate that. War Machine is how I know him, from ROH and in New Japan. I think that was a very good tag team match. Main roster needs to still look at the way NXT does the tag team division, to learn how to do it on the main roster. Match I was really disappointed in was the Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair match. I love Bianca. I like her swag and I like her character, which is, from what I heard, is kind of almost like her, but she's a little more toned down. I follow her on YouTube. I think they made a mistake not giving her the title. And if you weren't going to give her the title, I think she should have been in the Women's Royal Rumble. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think I would rather see Bianca Belair as Sasha's tag team partner than Bayley. Their characters are very similar, so I think with her being the muscle for, with Sasha, I think that would work. Think along the lines of Shawn and Diesel, with them as females. But yeah, I really wanted Bianca to win that title, even if she only kept it for 2 takeovers, or maybe defended it more on NXT and lost it at the takeover at WrestleMania. I would have been fine that way. If she did like 3 to 4 title defenses on NXT and then lost it at takeover for WrestleMania. I think she needed this win. Shayna Baszler has gotten herself established. They need to, with the Royal Rumble, that's why I'm doing everything together, because everything kind of goes hand in hand here. They were already giving off hints, portions of the Royal Rumble, and on SmackDown, which I'll get to in a few. Overall, though, TakeOver, I think, was the better show, as always. I did like Ciampa and Aleister Black, but I think it's time to end that. Now, the aftermath is what I really liked, with Dream, Aleister Black, and Ricochet squaring up against Adam Cole, Johnny Wrestling, and Tommaso Ciampa. They announced at the Royal Rumble that they're going to do something, have a match during the halftime of the Super Bowl. I guess I will probably tune into that, since I'm not too much of the fans of who's performing at the halftime for the Super Bowl. So I'll definitely take a quick look at that. It's going to be on the network. But overall, TakeOver was a good, I'll give that a B. That's overall great. I was just really disappointed with the Bianca Belair match throughout everything. Let me touch on this. I am getting just a little bit sick and tired of the Matt Riddle character already. For some reason, he reminds me of Rob Van Dam when Rob was in WCW with this whole bro and California server thing. It's like RVD meets Scotty Flamingo. I know half of y'all probably won't know that, but the wrestling fans who have been wrestling fans for years and watched WCW will know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm just not feeling his character. Just not feeling it right now. I'm not saying it won't grow on me. But overall, TakeOver to me was definitely the better show. Now let's move on to the Royal Rumble. Pre-show. Shin got the title back. I guess. Moving along from that. Buddy kept the title, which I have no problem with that. I think the cruiserweights need to be displayed more still on the main part of the show and not the pre-show. They are not utilizing those guys correctly, in my opinion. I think we need to give them time on the main card of the Royal Rumble. Now, for the Royal Rumble itself, where do I want to start with that? The women's title for SmackDown, I already figured Asuka would win. That's not a surprise to me. I think, though, what's going to be confusing is, and I'm just going to skip around on everything. Sorry about that, y'all. Scratching my face. Seeing when Becky Lynch won the Royal Rumble, a lot of people were thinking that it was going to be a double finish. Both Becky and Charlotte will go over the top, and you'll get a triple threat on that. But yeah, now I'm kind of wondering, are they going to try to give Charlotte a shot again, a rematch, her and Asuka at WrestleMania? And then does Asuka get her revenge on Charlotte at Mania, or are we still going to try to do the triple threat match on that? And I'll touch on that in a minute. But as far as the SmackDown Women's Championship match, it was solid. I didn't really have too much of a problem with it. So, yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. I'm not going to try to touch on every match. I'm just going over the stuff that I saw. I saw the entire pay-per-view, but the stuff that really sticks with me. The Bar losing to Shane and The Miz, I didn't like that one. They need to keep with traditional tag teams, I think. Instead of giving stuff to Shane and Miz, because now we're finna get Shane and The Miz and the Bar at a rematch at WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure they'll probably go at it at Elimination Chamber again. Or will we have Sanity stepping into the tag team title picture finally and trying to get the titles off of Shane and Miz? We'll wait to see how everything unfolds on SmackDown with that. I'm trying to find the positives out of the Royal Rumble. But to me, it wasn't that great. I mean, we all kind of predicted who would win the Rumbles for the men and the women, and it happened. The only thing I will say about the women's Royal Rumble is I did like the interaction with Lacey Evans and Charlotte. I think they can have a very good singles match if given the time and done and booked properly. I would like to see Lacey Evans and Charlotte go through the motions a couple of times. I am upset with the way they've done Ember Moon for the second year in a row with this Women's Royal Rumble. I think they should have. I know they wanted Becky or Charlotte to win. I wouldn't have been mad if Ember won, because if you could give me Ember versus Asuka at WrestleMania, the way they did it at TAKEOver, then I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. I think she needs to get on TV more. I would like to see Ember move from Raw to SmackDown, because she's getting no time at all on Raw. Because now Alexa Bliss is back, so we all know that it's going to be Alexa shoved down our throats again. So I really wasn't too, pleased with the Women's Royal Rumble. I mean, it was predictable, but here's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting that Charlotte will probably complain that Becky really wasn't in the Royal Rumble. No one told her to really come to the match, even though, Finn's an agent, I believe. She's going to be like, the heads. It's supposed to be the McMahons that are in charge. So without Stephanie, Shane, Tripp, or Vince saying that she could be in the Rumble, I'm thinking that that's going to be her way of getting in there and getting involved in the triple threat. They left that story wide open there. That's a good move, booking move, whoever booked it that way. I think that's what she'll use, that, Becky was not in the Royal Rumble. No one officially told her to get into the Royal Rumble, McMahon at least. So we can play off that, and we can get Charlotte in there in the triple threat with Ronda Rousey. I'm disappointed that Shayna Baszler didn't show up there in the Royal Rumble. I really kind of wanted her there, or at least I wanted her to show up in the Raw Women's Championship match. Let me talk about that real quick. I think that was a very good match with Sasha and Ronda Rousey. They keep teasing the whole 4 horsewomen thing, and if you look at the end, Sasha comes back up the ramp, and she gets in Ronda's face, even though she shook her hand, and she holds up the 4 fingers. So I'm ready for that to get started. I hope that all breaks down at WrestleMania. The Lesnar and Balor match is everything I thought it would be. I thought Finn would come out swinging fast and furious. That was the best thing for him to do, the way they booked that. Get Brock when he's not looking. That's the same thing Goldberg did. If you notice, a lot of the guys, they took it to Brock quick. If you let Brock start, it's going to be a long night for you. We all knew that Lesnar was going to win. I think Finn had a pretty decent showing. Could have been a little bit better if we would have had the Demon, I think. But, not just me. A lot of people think that would have been better. But it is what it is. That's the way they booked it and everything. Did we even get the Raw Tag Team titles on the pay-per-view? I couldn't even remember. I know I'm jumping around. It's late here in Tampa, Florida. WWE's got to do better with these freaking 7-hour pay-per-views and stuff. But back to the lecture at hand. As far as the men's Royal Rumble, I think we could have done without the Jeff Jarrett portion of the Royal Rumble. I think we could have used somebody else from NXT to be there instead of Jeff Jarrett. Or give me Cedric Alexander. I would have took Cedric in that spot over Jeff Jarrett. You could have given me, I would have took Tyler Bate. Give me somebody else from the UK, NXT UK. I would have took that as well. Kurt Angle, man, Kurt doesn't need to get in the ring anymore. His knees look as bad, if not worse, than Nash's knees. Again, that was something that was a waste there. I think we could have used Velveteen Dream there. Would have liked to see that one. if you don't do Velveteen Dream, I mean, we could have had Adam Cole right there. Yeah, man, those two, I think that was a waste. It was good to see the NXT guys there. Gargano, excuse me. So tired. Aleister Black, it was good seeing Aleister there on the main roster. Would really like to see Aleister and Dean get into a couple of things there. Didn't like that he got eliminated by Baron Corbin. That kind of pissed me off there. Don't know why we went that route. No Way Jose, that was a freaking waste of time, man. What the hell? Yeah, he conga line, and again, could have been somebody else in that spot there. But in the end, Seth gets the win, like we all predicted on that one. One thing I do want to talk about Rumble 2, with the R-Truth thing, I've been hearing rumors. I saw other people discussing this on Twitter. They were talking about Lars Sullivan was supposed to be the one to attack R-Truth. But you all know that Triple H did have a conference call that was stating that right now they're still working with Lars and everything is a work in progress. I think I would have liked to see Abyss show up. I think if Abyss would have showed up, Bob Wire, 2x4 in hand, and I would have loved to see Abyss attack them. Cole and Graves, they got to do better on commentary, trying to give you excitement. Well, more Michael Cole. Good God, man, I miss JR and King. But yeah, I think Abyss should have been right there to attack our Truth. I almost said R-Truth, but to attack Truth. That should have been Abyss. I think that would have got a huge reaction. And plus, it was rumored and had been announced from Wrestling Inc. and PW Insider that Sanjay and Abyss had finished up with TNA and were signed or about to sign with the WWE. So I think that was a wasted opportunity there for Abyss. But yeah, man. And now I think I will give the main roster Royal Rumble maybe a C. I'm gonna give it a C minus. And here's why I'm gonna give it a C minus. Damn it, what took so long for the damn WrestleMania sign to be shown? And I don't like the WrestleMania sign. Throughout the whole thing with the Royal Rumble, you know, when it gets to the final four, there's always a stare down at the Royal Rumble sign. They look at each other. They stand in the four corners. They all look at each other. And then they're all looking at the Royal Rumble. I mean, not the Royal Rumble. I'm sorry. The WrestleMania sign. And I'm like, where the hell is the WrestleMania sign through this whole time? Same thing with the men. They didn't, when you get to the final four, you didn't get the break. Like we normally get, everybody's in the corner. Everybody's looking at the WrestleMania sign. And then there's all hell breaks out. I don't know who designed that damn logo for WrestleMania, but it is freaking ugly. I hate it. I could barely freaking see the thing because everything was freaking dark as hell in the arena. So then I see Becky Lynch pointing and I'm like, well, what the hell is she pointing to? And all of a sudden I'm looking, I'm like, oh, there's the WrestleMania sign. And I'm like, damn, the WrestleMania sign was black with red and freaking orangish yellow. And I'm like, damn, I barely saw the freaking sign. Give me the goddamn classic white WrestleMania sign, for crying out loud. That kind of pissed me off. But enough about that. But yeah, overall, the men's Royal Rumble, the Royal Rumble itself, yeah, man, it wasn't nothing. One title change, and if you look at it, besides Rollins and Becky Lynch, it seems like the people that they had to win, if you kind of look at it, it's like they did it for them to stay with the company, if you know what I'm saying. Like, oh God, let's keep Daniel as the champion. let's give Shinsuke Nakamura the U.S. title back so he doesn't go to AEW. Yeah, some stuff just didn't look kind of right tonight. But yeah, man, Royal Rumble, yeah. Hey, man, I've been a wrestling fan, like I said, for over 30 years, man. I remember the stuff with Funk and Flair in the I Quit match. I've watched Wahoo McDaniel go to war with just about everybody in the wrestling business. Flair, Sting, Flair, Steamboat, Flair, Dusty, Flair, Wyndham, Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham taking on the Horsemen. Chief J Strumbo in a freaking Shark Tank match, man. So I'm a wrestling fan, first and foremost. Yeah. Before I forget, match of the night for the Royal Rumble to me was freaking AJ and Daniel Bryan. And the freaking crowd was just cotton picking dead. I'm like, dude, this is wrestling. Nothing stupid. Nothing crazy. You didn't see everybody diving out the freaking ring every freaking 5 minutes. I hate that, best. Another thing I don't like either, I hate when guys are freaking bouncing, waiting on the person to get up. And like they got freaking springs in their legs, and then all of a sudden they want to go over and just dive. Damn it, just dive. The guy who's taking the bump, get your ass on your damn feet, man, and take the freaking bump so we can keep stuff moving. If you notice NXT, they move really fluent with everything that they do and stuff majority of the time. But it's like, God, I got to watch Seth or Dean, and they got to bounce up and down before they do this. And then they want to point you and all this crap. But I digress. Back to AJ and Daniel. I think that was a really good technical match. That reminded me of an old school Flair Steamboat type match. Not on the same level, but I just like pure wrestling. It's not called rest holds. In case you don't know that. It's called wear down holds. Wear down holds, not rest holds. If somebody has somebody in the arm bar, it's called working on a body part. That's what the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, that's what the Horsemen, that's what Finlay and Regal were known for. It's not a freaking a hole or a rest hole. It is working and picking a body part apart. So can we please stop that? That kind of pisses me off. But the crowd was dead with the AJ and Daniel Bryan match because these damn sports entertainment fans, they don't want wrestling. They want you to dive 15 times over the ropes and stuff. But I think AJ and Daniel Bryan told a nice story in the ring. I didn't like the ending with Aaron Rowan coming out there looking like a big ass fucking lumberjack. I think that was kind of weird. So, okay. But again, overall, for the Rumble, I think I'll give it a C minus. Some things that I think that they need to work on. Can somebody please tell me where the hell Bray Wyatt is, why he wasn't at the Royal Rumble? I think Bray returning to the Rumble would have actually been good. Was he going to win? No, he wasn't going to win. But I haven't seen Bray on TV since, I can't even remember at all. I don't think we had a sighting of the B team in the Royal Rumble. That was very pleasant. Thank you for that. So that's my overall thing with the Royal Rumble and NXT TakeOver that I want to touch on. I'll be back later with some more wrestling news. I think WWE needs to start doing better with the way they're booking things and writing things out heading into WrestleMania season. I think they need to start taking this just a little bit more serious. I'll do a video later giving you my opinion on what I think the WWE needs to do to better their product on the main roster, especially Raw. Tripp and Sean pretty much have NXT under control. So I think NXT is just fine. Yeah. And before I get off, let me address something here real quick. The more I look at it, let me just say hypothetically, we know this is not going to happen, but let's just speak hypothetically for a minute. Could you imagine what would happen if, could you imagine if Triple H got tired of Vince and actually decided to take NXT away from the WWE? And then you would have the WWE versus NXT versus AEW. That would be interesting. Of course, we know that's hypothetical, but again, that's my review for the Royal Rumble. I wasn't impressed. The show was too long. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you for an hour and a half, 2 hours like a lot of people. You saw the pay-per-view, it is what it is on that. I wasn't impressed. Hopefully going forward, they will do better. Now what I'm going to start doing is, I'm going to start doing videos on how I would book things, and I'm going to give you a beginning, middle, and ending on how to book this thing, because a lot of people want to say, oh yeah, I would book this, and this person should be a heel for this reason, and then they would do this, and then that's it. I'm old school. I like Cornette. See, I believe in, while you're telling this story over here, and you're building up this baby face, you need to be building up a heel as well. And as Cornette would say, that way, as they're both climbing up to the mountain, when you get to the peak of the mountain, the baby face and the heel should be the ones at the top, because you built them. You got the crowd behind the baby face, and you got the fans booing the crap out of the heel because he does everything to win his match. I'm going to show you all how they should book it. And I'm talking about Roman Reigns. How I would book Roman Reigns' return. And who I would have him going up against. I'll see you all next time. Good night.